Hi, I'm Kimberly. I'm the author of Torrid Faith, and today we're going to make a cake. Now, I'm not a very good baker, but that's okay because I have a recipe. So let's go ahead and follow it and see how we do. First, I've already measured out the water that it needs, so let's pour that in there. Next, let's see what it needs. Next, it wants us to have flour. Well, I don't have any flour, but I do have pancake mix, which we all know there's flour and pancake mix. So let's go ahead and dump all that in there. All right. Next, it's asking for baking soda. I don't have any baking soda, but that's okay because I have a regular soda. And unless you're on the East Coast and call it pop, we call it soda here. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. All right. Next, it says salt. Well, I don't really have regular salt, but that's okay. I have seasoning salt, and that should be good enough. So let's go ahead and get some of that out of there. All right, some seasoning salt. Next, it asks for sugar. Well, I don't have regular sugar, but this is called sparkling sugar. You know, it's like the stuff you put on top of cakes, and that should be plenty good. So let's go ahead and get some of that in there. Should be really good. And it asks for baking chocolate. Well, I don't have baking chocolate, but I have cocoa in a cup here. So let's go ahead and put that in there. That should be really good. And oil. Now, I don't have regular oil, but everybody knows that there is oil in Italian dressing. So we're going to go ahead and use that. Hopefully that should be all right. So let's measure that out. Make sure we don't get too much. All right. And then it asks for eggs. I don't have any eggs, but what I have is chicken bouillon. And we all know that eggs come from chickens, so it's basically the same thing. So let's go ahead. It says 4 eggs, so I'm going to assume that is 4 of these. All right. And then last, 2 more things. It needs some vanilla. I have vanilla candy. That should be good. And it needs a cup of buttermilk. I don't have buttermilk, but what I do have is some powdered milk that I've already measured out. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And let's give it a nice stir. And as you can see, it is not very yummy looking. So, there's a message here, believe it or not. The reality is that we all have a recipe book, and I just happen to have one of those here as well. That is the Holy Bible. God gave us this book as a recipe book for our lives. And often what we try to do is we try to put something else in our life. We try to say, well, it's okay if I compromise here, or okay if I compromise there. And the reality is God gave us this book for a reason. And if we don't follow it, then guess what? We end up with this goopy, nasty, smelly, and it's really smelly life. And my guess is, I usually like to eat batter, but I don't think I'm going to be eating this. This is pretty nasty. And that's the life that we end up with if we do that, if we do not put God in our life. And Psalms 34:8 says, taste and see that the Lord is good. And I want to be able to taste the Lord. I want to be able to really have the goodness of the Lord in my life. And that begins by reading the Bible. So I hope you'll get out your recipe books. I hope you really dig in and really get to see the goodness that God has for you.